We've all seen a video, something along these lines. Someone uncovers the truth about something, perhaps even gets close enough to someone, and for one reason or another feels compelled to make a video about it. Maybe they want to get something off their chest. Maybe they want to set the record straight. And sometimes they want someone to get exactly what they deserve. This video falls squarely in that last category, with a bit of a twist. My name is Logan Lionel, and by the end of this video, you're gonna get to know this man, Static Crowbar. Who he is, what he's done, and what part you can play to make sure that he gets exactly what he deserves before it's too late.
That's alright, I don't need those arms. Daddy, you're falling apart at the seams! There. I'm a little piggy. Hear me shout. Don't go in the tank. Oh, hey, you, no cutting. Fine, here. Oh, okay, stop. Why are we doing this? Come on, have some civility. The makeup is done. Proxy, I'll see you behind the bush. She enjoyed this way too much.
Thank you, comrade. Since it's been a pleasure.
In 2013, Static had been a Marine for some time. Under the alias of Sean Crow, he starts a YouTube channel.
So, he started it while he was overseas as a way to keep connection with people and just kind of, it was something that it gave him purpose while he was overseas because he was away from everyone. We basically spent the first part of our marriage, like the first 1.5 to 2 years, apart. So, well, 1.5 years. But yeah, so starting the YouTube channel was just something to give him kind of that purpose and to give him something to do in his free time outside of his on base out there. You can be surrounded by a lot of negative influencers and not having the one stable thing in his life be there at the same time. It was just his way to stay connected. The makeup challenge was done while he was on leave. It was either during he was only home for like a month within the 2-year time, like within a certain time. It was like the month that we got married and then for our 1-year anniversary. And I think the makeup challenge was during our 1-year anniversary time frame.
That one's okay. That one's not okay. You know, in a different context, that would be a wonderful sentence to hear your wife say.
So, and it was my idea.
That is amazing.
He wanted to we think it was my idea. It could have been something someone challenged or he posted or something. I'm like, let me do your makeup. I want to do your makeup. Let me do it. And so he is then, and I keep asking him, like, are you going to do another one? Because I've gotten better.
Had to be 2012, 2013, that time frame. And I started by uploading Downfall.
Take the trolley? I don't really feel like refurbishing this hallway. Nah, you probably got better things to do. Like, deal with your wife, who's clearly having issues.
Using a $10 pencil mic, all on my own, and using a free-to-me copy of Sony Vegas to edit everything, and music for the outro that I definitely should not have been using in parts of the video that are now definitely muted. So yeah, it would have been 2012, and I started that, as I said, by myself prior to joining up with Yeah Dude.
Now, at this point, we have to take a little bit of a detour because we can't discuss who Static is without discussing who Yeah Dude gamers are.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin with that. Because it was kind of like we were two separate entities doing our own thing, and my focus was on me, and at the time it was Demon X, my roommate, were starting our own channel, and we named it Yeah Dude based on he would frequently answer my questions with a "yeah, dude," and I was like, "That's what we're calling our channel. That's what it's gonna be." And then I was like, I'm gonna start connecting with people, and so collaborating with Static, Catharsis, Mr. Mordecai. I think that was actually it. It was the four of us. Like, Mr. Mordecai was in Germany, Catharsis was in the Philippines, Static was stationed in Japan, and then me, East Coast US. What a time trying to collaborate that was.
I met, back then it was Proxy and Demon X. They were the two primary sources behind the Ad Dude Gamer crew. If you go to the Ad Dude channel on YouTube, I think Proc still has some of their original videos up on the site, playing through the first parts of Fatal Frame.
And welcome to Yeah Dude Gaming. We are playing Fatal Frame. Based on a true story.
I call bullshit.
Oh man.
So we're here.
Loosely based on anything true.
So I met Proxy by reaching out on Twitter to anyone who wanted a free copy of Blood and Trapland. There it is. And I got exactly 3 responses, and he was one of them.
Oh my god! Yeah!
It's like, yes, jump on me.
No.
That's very true, and it was in that we came up with the hashtag "What are they doing behind the bushes?" Our first inside joke.
Is it where?
Oh, check it out. Sometimes I'd like to hide in the bushes. You can't even see me.
Ooh, you know what we can do in those bushes?
Oh.
No one can see our wait, what was that?
If someone came in right now and was just like, "Oh, what are they doing behind that bush, and why is there blood everywhere?"
I'm pretty sure Proxy introduced him to me, didn't you? Or did we just like cat by random happenstance?
It's hard to say who I introduced Static to and who just kind of came in contact with him as part of joining the Yeah Dude community, because my focus for so long was just on building that community.
Mm-hmm.
And Static was such a key part of that, starting everything out.
Right.
Like when I was making the Yeah Dude channel and being active on Twitter, he was one of the first people I was really like active with. And getting into that collab was huge.
I didn't formally join the Yeah Dude crew until I think 2 years ago, but I've always been involved in that community ever since he and I became friends. I was just looking for, I was trying to build a community, I was trying to get my name out there, and at that point I didn't have any connections, I knew no one, so I just kind of did a Hail Mary, hey, who wants a free copy of this game? The only catch is, record with me. And the rest is history.
But no, having Static's energy for making videos, because he was at the time still, again, stationed in Japan, was still making Let's Plays and making vlogs and writing songs, and I was just following the inspiration. It's like, this is great. We had, for a short stint of time, I don't know if he remembers, but we had a point where we were having a back and forth of who could manage to swear less by replacing their swears with creative other words, which is where Static invented snickle fart.
So how many people do you think have made the jokes about getting fisted by these fists?
Oh, dude, all of them. Oh, damn it! I mean, oh, doodle.
Oh, snickle farts.
One of the things that sticks with me a lot is when we first started everything, and he was really doing his YouTube thing, kind of like the first round of just really focused on it while he was also doing his Marine thing. It was him, myself, and we hung out a lot with John Crow, who was out in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And of the three of us, we kind of had this, like, I was kind of this is a hobby and maybe someday I'll make it a thing. And John Crow was like the other end of things, where he was like, I'm getting a job in film, I'm going to be an actor. And then Static kind of had the almost the middle ground between the two of like, I'm having fun and I know a lot of technical stuff.
Now you've kind of gone on to other things, you know, with the voice acting and whatnot, which, by the way, congratulations. Like,
thank you.
The work that you put in is amazing. But a lot of people in Yeah Dude Gamers, including myself, Static, Proxy, all hold you in pretty high regard, and I don't think it would be remiss to say that your dedication in those early days was part of why Yeah Dude Gamers has the foundation it has today.
That's an incredibly flattering thing to hear. I mean, I've always been an extremely driven person, and I remember just how on top of it I was back when I was doing YouTube. I mean, even a decade ago, I was there was almost a desperation to succeed, and I think that's kind of followed me throughout my life.
I don't know why, but I just suddenly like tensed up a whole bunch. Okay.
I'm just gonna hide in this corner.
Static, it's okay. I'm here for you.
You betrayed me last time. I don't know if you remember that, but I do.
That's very nice to hear. I mean, it's easy to think that you don't matter to people or don't impact people's lives, especially when you've left and you're not actively involved with people the way you used to be. And the same is true for how I feel about them, even though I'm kind of lingering from the sidelines, kind of staring like a weirdo. What are they doing in the bushes?
By now it's obvious that everybody who started this group had one goal in common: to build a community.
For me, I grew up watching my cousins play video games or my friends play video games. And for me, the Let's Play aspect of YouTube, that was a way to recreate those feelings and that connection, among other reasons. But that's always been like the big crux of it.
I think it was quite obvious back then when we were sort of getting involved in it that what made channels really succeed was having a backbone of support from people. And I was in it because I actually really loved playing games with people and I wanted to make decent friends. So back then, YouTube was a great area where I could really get all of that drive into a creative focus. But then going out and seeing what other people were doing their own channels was super fascinating. One of the things that, when it comes to like Static, I remember his focus on that aspect of his community was really, really clear. He has this dedicated interest with really connecting with people. And man, I looked up to him so much. Like, he might have been, I think he was a smaller YouTuber than me at the time, but you have no idea. I was like, wow, this guy's really cool. I really like his attitude. I like the interactions he has. You get a lot of that in the early days. You get a lot of that sort of imposter syndrome. Am I doing things right? Am I a fraud? Am I putting on a personality? But Static was always really genuine in this community. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that I've had a good influence, but I think I was drawn to him as well and other creators like him because of that sort of connection and that authenticity.
January 1st, 2017, Static posts the last video that he will post for the next 3 years, and won't come back to YouTube until another 6 years. Before we get into that, however, permit me a moment of self-indulgence. There's a sentiment that's been weighing on me for years now, and I finally have an opportunity to get this off my chest. And it's important to the story. So, if I can circle back to myself for a minute, I think it's important. You had such a impact in not only introducing me to Static, but also planting a seed to become the sort of person that Static would even interact with. Around 2015, around that time, I also made an incredibly homophobic comment. I believe that gay marriage had just been legalized on a federal level in the US. and you called me out on my bigotry at the time, and obviously I didn't appreciate it at the time, but it did have a profound impact on not only my personal life, but also, again, in me growing to become the sort of person that Static would even want to interact with. So I want to genuinely thank you for planting the seed for me to grow.
I'm very, very happy to see that it's been a positive influence. I very much live by the philosophy that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. And whilst I don't have all the answers, no one does, we're all flawed, I hope that people will have the time, or take the time, to self-reflect on their lives, their actions, who they are, and find ways to grow into better people. And if that's something I've helped influence in someone, then that's the greatest compliment I can receive, is to have helped someone find themselves or overcome, let's say, an insecurity or prejudice that they might have had that had been holding them back. And I know that imperfection is in the nature of reality itself, so acknowledging that we have mistakes that we've made or things we want to change, and then acting upon that change, I think that's the noblest thing we can actually do.
So this amazing group of friends is formed, and everybody is just so inspiring to each other. Begs the question, why leave all that behind?
It would have been circa 2015, 2016, not too long after I got out of the military. Once I found an apartment to rent after I got out in July of 2015, I did find an apartment where I set up a dedicated recording space, built a computer, because I had just started a new job as a field service technician. And then 3 months later, I started my college degree, and my job was having me travel out of state, traveling literally thousands of miles every single week. I just couldn't record and edit and upload it, so I stopped. So that would have been probably beginning of 2016.
So during that span was a lot. He was trying to keep up his YouTube channel, but he was also working. He had just gotten hired with his company that he's still with, and he was home less than, he was just not home all the time. And if he was home, he was working on homework, because he had also decided to go back for his bachelor's. So it was just kind of chaotic, trying to keep it all up between us finally being able to live together. So it was like our first real chance to be husband and wife and be together, doing homework and trying to keep up the channel. It just kind of had to take a backseat. I wound up getting pregnant with Minibar, and then we moved, and again, just kind of life took control in a sense. And with him being out of the house more than he was home, didn't really have an office or anything, he's like, I don't have time for this. I'm a new dad. I'm working out in the field.
So obviously we're in for a bit of a time jump here. But instead of jumping back directly to when he returned, let's take a page out of his book and step back ourselves. So far we've learned that he is someone driven by a sense of community, but not at the expense of his family. There's a busyness to him post-Marine, sure, but it showcases a character of someone who takes the responsibility of their family very seriously. And given that he's surrounded himself with this community, it should be easy enough to get people to describe what he's really like. And if this were a different kind of video, this is where the other shoe would drop. But here's the twist. There isn't one. In a medium that craves authenticity, Static is authentic as they come.
For him, he is very much the entertainer when he is in front of the camera, and then behind. Once the camera is off, it just kind of. Okay. He just needs a minute to breathe, and then he's dead. And then he's my husband.
I'm very fortunate that I get to have the privilege to be his friend, and to call him my friend. They're a great family, and Static is just such a wonderful human being in every single way. He has changed my life more than he probably will ever know or admit. And I'm very fortunate that he exists in my life now, which is insane. I never would have thought that someone that I admired on the internet and admired their content, and they were kind of an escape from all the bad things that happened in my life, would become someone that I feel really close to in some kind of way.
I know gaming has always been huge for him. He's always loved playing video games. We love doing them together. I just like to jump scare him when I can.
Same.
when he's playing the games and it comes to that point and I have a chance to play that Chica breathing or the jump scare notification, and it's like just the perfect timing, the reaction is priceless.
Where are we going? We're going into the Café de Raton Lavier. Thank you. Good morning, my beautiful bride.
He doesn't do it to me because he knows better. But I do it for him because I know those reactions. A lot of people look at him and just start laughing. And that's what he's all about. He likes making people laugh. He likes entertaining. He's always thoroughly enjoyed being an entertainer.
I'm trying to think of other little tidbits, little behind the scenes, the man behind the static, as it were.
As it were.
Be the name of the program.
The static behind the crowbar.
I don't even remember what we were doing at the time. I do remember having like a 2-hour-long Skype call with Static while he was building a new computer. And I don't remember why we got on that call in the first place. I remember being like, hey, can we chat? And he was like, I'm in the middle of building a computer, so as long as you don't mind that, then yeah. And just watching him build a PC in the background well before I had started getting into taking apart and building PCs myself. So he's also kind of been like the techie that I've deferred to in a lot of those kind of situations.
Tech Daddy Proxy has a techie he defers to.
Yep.
Of course, we're not saying that he's perfect. No one is. But part of being authentic on this platform is being open about your shortcomings, which is something that not only he does, but entrusts his wife to do as well.
We joke. There was a point where we had a Rachel and Ross moment. We were on a break, and that was kind of a clarifying, like, okay, I know what I want from this, and it's either we move forward or we're done, because I can't be friends in that part. It's like I love you too much to be a friend. So, and here we are. We have our ups and downs, and yeah, it is not just all fun and games. Well, pun intended. We have our fights. We go head to head. We go toe to toe. But at the end of the day, we also communicate and make sure that the other is being heard the way they need to be. So.
Since getting my degree, life has just been beating me into the ground nonstop. Several of those reasons are alcoholism. I'm doing a lot better now, but it was bad there for a while. Stress related to work, parent duties, all of that. all of that had led to a very, very deep bout of depression that I'm still fighting right now. But big thank you to Logan, who showed up in my corner several times when I didn't ask. I just withdrew from everybody for a while there. Stopped talking to everyone. I stopped streaming even for a little bit, but Logan showed up. Talk to me. Let me talk. Let me not talk, which is just as important sometimes. And let me come to terms. Let me come to him when I was ready.
Now, it's not my intention to expose all the skeletons in his closet. For sure, there's more to that story that I could share, but I want to respect what he's put out there for the public to know. And it's not the point. The point is that he was open enough and vulnerable for all the world to see. And as someone with more information behind the veil, it doesn't just stop with being vulnerable. If you go back and watch that video, he takes accountability for his shortcomings. He doesn't just make excuses. He takes responsibility and actions to correct, while giving himself the grace to not let his mistakes define him. This is what I want to get across to anyone who finds this channel. This man deserves the success that he's been pursuing, not just because he put in the work for some YouTube channel, but because of who he is. He's truly an inspiration, both in the creative sense and in the sense that he is absolutely one of the best role models that I have ever seen. Now, at this point, I could jump back into the feel-goods of this video. Goodness knows that there's enough of that in the interviews to go around. But this video is already a month late, and like I said, there's a limited amount of time for you to help make this right. So let's get back on track. Static Crowbar had 2 returns after his hiatus. One returned to Twitch, and then the other returned to YouTube.
When did I officially come back? Was that 2022? 2021? So I was gone for about 6 years or so, at least.
And I'm assuming what you're referring to is when you came back to Twitch, because I did not realize that you came back to Twitch.
So yeah, I first came back to Twitch because that content was a lot easier to produce and whatnot because there's no editing, right? It's just turn the camera on, hit the button, and go. But I did a while after that come back to YouTube. So maybe I started streaming again back in 2021. I know it was after the pandemic, after I had left the field. So I'm going to say that was probably 2021 when I started streaming again, and then 2022, 2023 when I started uploading to YouTube again. At least content specifically for YouTube, edited and all of that, not just here's my live stream posted to YouTube.
Okay, and then I didn't put this question down, but I think that it would be prudent to include just the reaction when you did come back.
Whose reaction? I mean, it was a weird, for me personally, it was this weird, I don't even know how to describe the emotions I felt. Excuse me, but for me it felt like reconnecting with a long-lost friend. You know, life just kind of forced you apart. It was not a toxic relationship. They were really good friends to you, and life just forced you apart for years, and then you come back, and suddenly things are different because you both have matured in your own ways, but it still feels like a part of you was missing and has been built, right? But after I made the announcement, I mean, I saw a few people come out of the woodworks that I hadn't talked to since I formally left.
I have been extremely humbled recently. When I announced my comeback, as it were, and I use that in air quotes, big ol' air quotes, and I come back. I saw people come out of the woodworks. The Advent Studio is the first one that comes to mind. I saw a passion ignite in Proxy, and seeing these people come back, seeing them get back into this, and knowing that I had something to do with it, served as some foundation of inspiration, is extremely humbling to me, because I'm nobody. Let's be real. I'm just a techno nerd that loves doing things like this, loves playing video games, loves editing video, and to be honest, I'm not good at any of it, but I'm good enough. I can squeak by, but it is extremely humbling, and I'm very honored to see these people pick up their passions. Just knowing that I had something to do with that. Even if it was just pouring a little bit of gasoline on the wood. You had the matches the whole time. You started that fire. I just helped fan the flames a little bit, but that's all you. But it was nevertheless humbling and invigorating. And damn it, I am going to help build a community.
From what I hear, you were doing a stream and he popped up, and I would like to hear your reaction to him coming back.
Of course, yeah. So I was streaming one day. I think I was streaming a game called Sky Children of the Light with my now fiance, and we were just hanging out, and then I see Static Crowbar just pop into my chat randomly. I saw that he was streaming, and I loved his content. I used to watch his content from when I was basically a kid to Escape. And would watch his Downfall playthrough, which was one of his first, I think, really old playthrough that was on his channel. And that's how I found him. And he was my escape from bullying and all that stuff when I was going through high school and the end of junior high and all that stuff. So I saw that he was streaming, went into the Yeah Dude Discord, and then promoted myself in the Discord, and then he randomly showed up in my chat, and I was like, is that the legendary Static Crowbar? And he thought I was joking and just make it like that I would say that to anyone, and I was like, no, I explained to him that I have a long lineage of watching his videos, and actually he changed my life for the better. He improved my life by an extreme extent and didn't even know who I was, right? So he made an impact without even getting to know me. And when I said that I watched his Downfall series, he was through the roof surprised. And I think, this is his words that were spoken to me, that he was crying on his kitchen floor while Crowbar was supporting him and consoling him. And it was, ever since then we've been really good friends. I visited him and his family, and he's genuinely one of the best people I have ever met on the internet.
I kind of had this unique experience because I didn't follow his videos before. And I wasn't on his channel before, him being part of Yeah Dude and everything. And I didn't even know he was a YouTuber with any sort of following. And so when he was I'm back, I was back from what? Jeez. And then I looked at his channel and I was oh, holy shit, he's an actual YouTuber guy. Holy shit. And I was I have a lot of catching up to do.
I remember that slow kind of shift from I make YouTube videos and I'm doing the things that I love doing to I am about to have a kid. I'm about to have a second kid. I need to buckle down and just be super responsible, and then kind of shifting into that the sort of corporate set that he's in right now, where he was, saying I've kind of given in to my corporate overlords, but seeing that shift where he was I don't have the time and dedication I can put into YouTube or just streaming, and seeing him come back from that was inspiring, to say the least.
Right.
I always like seeing people do the things that they're passionate about, and you can tell he's got such a passion for it.
It goes without saying that I was also elated to see Static come back. Every year that he was gone, I'd spend some time during that year going back and rewatching his Alimony series. So when I started seeing the Slay the Princess streams and the videos come up on YouTube, I was like absolutely thrilled to see, hey, this person that I really like how they did things back in the day. And, you know, I've been wondering, hey, where did this person even go? You know, see them come back was just... I was so happy to see him again. And then he put out that announcement that he was coming back in the video that I showed a moment ago. In that video, something he said absolutely resonated. It was the moment that I knew that I wanted to be more than just a fan watching on the sidelines. It's the moment that I knew I wanted to be his editor. I wanted to be involved in what he was doing.
And there was a time where I absolutely wanted this to be my future. I wanted this to be my income. I wanted this to be how I made my living. And there is a small part of me that still wants that. And I'm certainly never going to turn the opportunity down if it presents itself. But something bigger has occurred, something more important than treating this as a job, and that is my children. I realize that I'm not going to be here forever, obviously, but I want to leave some record of my time here on this planet, and I want my children and their children, and potentially their children's children, to see these videos and go, you know what, let's watch Dad, let's watch Grandpa, let's watch Great-Grandpa play some video games and see how much he sucks at them and see how not funny he is, but dang it, he's having a good time. And I want them to have that experience even if I can't have it with them. I'm back so that when I'm gone, they can see what a fool I was. They can laugh at me, they can laugh with me, and we'll have a good time even if I'm not physically there. That's really it. And maybe none of us are the best at what we do, but who cares? We're having fun. We are doing what we love. We're putting our heart and soul into this, not because we want monetary gain, not because it is the way forward in life, but because we love it, and because we love sharing it. This is our macaroni art, right? I love macaroni art, and I can't wait to get macaroni art. So if in the future, one of my progeny, one of my offspring, or their offspring, or their offspring's offsprings are watching this, make macaroni art. I love it. But the point is, you're not going to see macaroni art in an art gallery. But when a child makes macaroni art for their parents, they are making it with every bit of love in their heart. I'm going to show something, actually. See this? This is art. You're not going to find this in an art gallery. You're not going to find this in a museum. It's not going to be sold at auction for millions of dollars. But I love this because Minibar poured her heart and soul into this. She said she was making a picture for Daddy. Can she draw anatomically correct humans? Absolutely not. But dang it if this isn't great. I love this. This represents what I am doing now. This represents my streams. This represents my channel. This represents my passion. This channel, the Twitch streams, they are my macaroni art. They are this.
Hearing him talk about his videos as macaroni art resonated with me. It reminded me of the reason that anyone should be making videos in the first place. Throughout the years, we seem to have gotten it through our heads that this was either a way to make money or gain some amount of fame. And while I won't knock those aspirations, by his own admission, Static still does have some of those aspirations, and we're going to get to that in a second. Hearing him talk about macaroni art reminded me that the real reason to do any of this is for the love of it. And it's clear that he does absolutely love it.
I just watched him play Sinking Iron, and while there's a clear skill gap between him playing Ao Oni and that, the passion is still absolutely there. Unfortunately, passion can only carry you so far. Between a job, being a husband, and having 2 kids, even with me offering my help as an editor, we've come to a crossroads. Because as much as we love doing this, it's not sustainable for him. This is the reason I'm making this video. This video isn't an expose, it's a letter of introduction. I want you to get to know this man at least half as well as I know him. Because he's giving this one last serious attempt this year. And granted, knowing him as well as I do, whether we succeed or fail, he's not going to look back at this time with any kind of regret. Because he tried his best. But if we are to succeed, we need your help. And this is where the call to action is going to get a little weird. You might expect me to say, subscribe to him, which, you know, if I've convinced you at this point, absolutely. But that's not actually what we need. I mean, we do need that, but not nearly as much as we need watch time. Even if I haven't convinced you to subscribe, if you've made it this far into the video, I suspect I have at least piqued your interest enough to watch one of his videos. And more than anything, that's what we need you to do right now. Now, you might be asking what video to start with. I presented this question in the interviews, expecting you to reach something of a conclusion, some sort of direction to point you guys towards. Instead, what I got was more of a menu.
I should know this since I just went through literally every video on his channel. Man, they're all so good though. is the thing. I probably would pick Indigo Park.
Micro watched you make that face. Beautiful. Beautiful. I was going for kind of a, oh no. Oh, you. Please be kind to me. I promise every comment I made about your daddy vibes was said with nothing but the greatest affection.
I'm gonna be honest, it would depend on who I'm making the recommendation to, because there is such variety on Static's channel. Like, his work on the Mass Effect series was so good, the way that he tried to work on editing it kind of like a reality show.
And she killed the guard. Wait, there's people right there. What do you mean no witnesses? They're literally right there. See? There's the body. Right there. There's the witnesses. And there's one more right there.
There are a few folks that I recommended. His song, I'm Not Gay. 10 years
Classic.
later, we know it's lies.
We know it's lies. We always knew it was lies.
But this is a song I wrote quite a few years ago while in the middle of a intense bromance. But no, I'm not gay. No, I swear I'm not gay. I wrote this song just to say, take my word, I'm not gay. Pretty simple. I'm not gay. Yeah. I also told you I couldn't sing.
I would say start from the bottom, because you get to see his progression and see how much he has grown as a human being. And for me, what I love about Static Crowbar so much is the humility. Yeah, I would say start from the bottom. Watch his Downfall series. It may have some kinks to work out here and there, because it's an older video. I think it really shows how humble he was, and then you could go to his newest video and you could see that humble experience being there completely.
I'd better find her. Ooh, sleep, leave room. Sleep, leave room. Forget about her. Go find her. Don't need her. Let's go get her. Whoa. Devil went through here. Nothing interesting about it. Are you not even gonna acknowledge what's written there, Joe?
There's the Scotch tape challenge he did for his 100 subscribers special.
Alright, there's spikes there. I did it! Alright, level 1 completed. I still got 4 rolls of this shit. This tape is getting so wet with my shit.
And then the other side of that being the 51 most beautiful sentences, where he just, I think he said he found like a BuzzFeed list or something, but he goes through and reads these just incredible sentences that various authors have written at some point or another. And they're ones, a lot of them are ones I hadn't heard before, and just, I don't know, that video brings me tears.
Dear God, she prayed, let me be something every minute of every hour of my life. The curves of your lips rewrite history. A dream, all a dream that ends in nothing and leaves the sleeper where he laid down. But I wish you to know that you inspired it.
I forgot about one other video series that I would recommend to people, if you want something complete rather than where we're still working through No, I'm Not Human, Slay the Princess.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That would probably be my straight up go-to of like, oh,
that game is so good.
You gotta check this guy out.
How did I not think of that sooner?
I warned the narrator that I would see the princess and fall madly, deeply, truly head over heels in love. I am here to marry the princess.
I don't have any weapons, and I'm chained to a wall. Do I look like someone that could end the world? Do I look like a monster?
Again, referencing Kojima. No, you absolutely do not. But neither did Amelie.
Everything you've heard about me is true, and I'm going to lay waste to everything, starting with you.
I almost spilled my coffee. I am going to kill you for that.
Of course, my recommendations probably come as no surprise. If we're going for the older content, then my recommendation would be Ao Oni.
Yep. Here we go. No! I don't want it anymore.
Or if we're wanting something a little bit more recent than the first series that I was a part of editing, The Crooked Man.
So I just go back to sleep? Oh, good lord! That's an appropriate reaction. I'm waiting for you. Stop hitting the mic. Why did, how and when did, who did, why, how did the, what with the, hi, just, I can't sleeping downstairs, I can't scream, but I want to. Can you scream for me? Thanks. It's okay, buddy. We're here together.
I'm sorry that wasn't as definitive of a direction that I could have pointed you in.
But you do have options. There's different videos linked in the info cards. There's also going to be a couple options here at the end cards. And all of these options can be found in the description below. And from here, it's up to you. And hopefully you can give one of these videos a watch, and in the process, just maybe, make a new friend.